This is Keely Combs back to share with you some more relationship skills. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about softened startup. So, what is softened startup? First, you have to know what a harsh startup is. And John Gottman describes a harsh startup as a conversation that begins pretty harshly and that you can tell pretty much within the first minute that it's not going to end well. So, a softened startup is his antidote to the harsh startup. And there are three basic steps to the softened startup. And this is what we want to do when we have something really important that we want to talk to our partner about that's been bothering us. And the first step of the softened startup is to describe the situation non judgmentally and describe what happened. So, for example, you might say to your partner, the other night we were at a party and I started to tell somebody about our vacation and you interrupted me. So you're saying what happened, you're not blaming, you're being very specific about what actually occurred. The second part is you describe how you feel. So then you can say, and when you interrupted me, I felt ignored, I felt unimportant, I felt small, I felt hurt. You might say, I felt angry. And you want to be very careful here because the last thing we want to say is, I felt that you were a jerk, or I felt that you were being mean. So we really want to be careful that when we talk about how we feel, we describe our feeling. And then the third part of the softened startup is that then you say what it is you most want or need or long for. So you might say, it's really important to me that you try not to interrupt me when we're talking to our friends. I really want you to let me finish. And so could you please try to work on that? And in an ideal scenario, your partner will say either, absolutely, that must have felt awful, and I will try to work on that. Or two, I wasn't aware that I did that, but I will start paying attention and do my best to work on that. And I guess in the worst case scenario, your partner might say, what are you talking about? I didn't do that. And that's defensiveness, which I talked about in the last video. So, in our relationship skills workshop, I'll be helping you all to figure out what to do to manage these interactions and conversations. And we'll slow it down a little bit. You'll all have a chance to maybe bring something up that happens in your relationships, and we'll work on how to fix it and how to have a softened startup conversation. So that's your little tip for this week, and I hope you'll join me next week for more relationship skills.